Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Karen, and if you're new here, I am a micro influencer on Instagram, and I also post content here on YouTube. If you've been lingering around here for a while, you know that on our last conversation we talked about very interesting stuff that are found on the Monat policies and procedures, or the contract. We've learned so much, so much, and I hope that information was super interesting to you as it was to me. Now, today our main goal, our main focus is to keep informing you about the success rate, especially within Monat. A lot of people say, well, just like any other MLMs, Monat's success rate is 1%, while 99% of other people fail at having a successful business within the company. And a lot of people that already do Monat as a business opportunity, they say, no, that's not true. We're a $1 billion company. You have to trust us. You have to trust the process. You have to put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of energy and time into it. Sure. But what does Monat itself tell you about the success rate within the company? And that's what we want to learn about today. And in order to do that, we are going to analyze the Monat income disclosure statement from 2018. Why? Because this statement is going to help us figure out what are the risks of joining Monat and what are my chances of being successful. And if you're still considering joining Monat at this point, or if you already joined Monat and you are like wondering, am I on the right track to being successful? Then maybe this is going to be your chance to say, maybe I should not join Monat at all. Or if you already joined, maybe this is your chance to say, I don't think this is gonna work. Let me just jump out now that I still have time, instead of later when I have invested so much money and I haven't seen any fruition. So let's just dig in. So what is an income disclosure statement? In general, an income disclosure statement is usually a chart that provides figures, provides numbers that show the amount of money that distributors within a multi-level marketing company can potentially make in the company. And in specifically with Monat, the latest income disclosure statement they have is from 2018. And why is it from 2018? Well, it takes a lot of time for companies to review data, compile data, put a chart together with accurate numbers, with accurate report data. It takes a lot of work to do that. And so right now in 2020, we have the 2018 income disclosure statement. I'm pretty sure that 2 years from now, we're going to have the 2021. That one is going to be very interesting for me to see, especially because of the pandemic. I am sure millions of people have joined Monat and any other multi-level marketing companies out there. So it will be, the 2020 income disclosure statements are going to be very interesting to look at. But right now, all we have is the 2018 one, and that's what we have to work with. So let's just analyze the data that's included in this chart, in this statement. So let's dig in. So as you can probably see, the income disclosure statement is a little bit blurry, is very light in color. It has very tiny letters, and this is the most visible or legible income disclosure statement from Monat that I can find, thanks to Reddit. So that's what we have to work with today. I am going to try to blow it up as much as I can, but in reality, these income disclosure statements are done purposely like this because it's a trick from the company itself. They want your eyes to get tired. They want you to give up trying to figure it out, the numbers, trying to figure it out, how successful can you be in this company. So it's a tactic that they use, but thank God you have me to actually blow this up, to actually analyze this in depth, because it's very interesting, and we are going to fight back a lot of the erroneous thoughts that people have been saying about Monat and such. So let's just start with the very first part of the income disclosure statement, which is the top box. And I am actually going to read it. We're going to read it sentence by sentence. So the first sentence on the purple box says, the average annual income of all U.S. market partners at all ranks, which includes active and inactive market partners, in 2018 was $773.93. 47% of U.S. market partners were not active in 2018 and therefore did not earn any commissions. So what can we say about this first sentence in the chart? Well, it's very, very interesting to me, first of all, that the annual average income for all U.S. market partners in Monat in 2018 was just $773. So in theory, if you think about it, earning $773 on average in a multi-level marketing company, is that a lot of money? Like, why should you expect me to convince me to join an MLM company and tell me that I'm going to earn a lot of money when Monat is clearly telling, hey, in 2018, on average, market partners on an annual basis earn $773. So I don't know. If you ask me to join Monat knowing that all I'm going to earn in the entire year is $773, of course I'm not going to join Monat. I'm not going to take that miserable, insignificant business opportunity. For what? I'm working for what? So that's just ridiculous. And it also says, very interesting, it says that 47% of market partners were inactive. Why do I care about inactive market partners? Why do I care about the people that are not taking Monat serious? Why do I care about the people that are not generating any income with Monat? But that goes to tell that many people join Monat because they want the discount on the products, because they believe that the products are good for their hair or their skin or for any member of their family, and they just want the discount because the products are so expensive. So a lot of people join Monat not because they want to do it as a business, thank God, but because they just want the discount on the very expensive products. So I kind of understand that. But that percentage of people, in my personal belief, you shouldn't account for those inactive people, the people that are trying to just be Monat because of the discount. You shouldn't include that in this chart, in the numbers of this chart, because it's misleading. Why would you include that? These people are not generating any kind of income. That's ridiculous to me. But whatever. They have their reasons to do that. I am not sure what it is. But let's just keep reading. So the second sentence says, the income information in the chart below includes those market partners who were active and inactive market partners in 2018. And then in the third and fourth sentence, it gives you the definition of what it is to be an active and an inactive market partner. And literally the only difference between an inactive and an inactive market partner is commission. An active market partner earns commission on an annual basis throughout the whole year, while the inactive person is just in it for the discount. They're not earning any commission. They're not doing it as a business. So the definition that Monat gives about an active market partner or just a market partner in general is someone who has joined Monat with the intention of growing a team and generating income. So that's why the whole thing about active and inactive market partner doesn't make sense to me to be included in this chart, because if you want to show how much money on average market partners in Monat are making, why are you including the people that are not generating any kind of income? I still don't understand. But let's just move on to the actual chart, the part that is the most interesting in here, the part where every single person who's doing Monat, who is interested in doing Monat, who is in Monat, who has left Monat, should be very, very acquainted with this chart. Because this chart, even if you don't read the contract, even if you don't believe in the words that a Monat distributor or Monat recruiter is telling you, just by looking at this chart, you can already tell how well you're going to do in Monat. So let's just dig in. So the chart has different categories. So the first column is called rank. And in Monat, as you can see, they have 11 ranks or levels that you can achieve if you join Monat as a business opportunity. And you can see that the lowest rank is being a market partner. So as soon as you sign the contract, as soon as you say submit, I want to do this as a business, you automatically become a market partner. Now, most people, of course, they want to achieve the highest rank or the highest level, which is senior executive director. So that's when you are making the big bucks in Monat. That's the level that everybody wants to reach, and everybody just looks forward to reaching that goal. The next column is very interesting because it gives you the percentage of active and inactive market partners in 2018. So if you look at the percentage of market partners, meaning the lowest rank in 2018, that was 94.3%. 94% of the whole Monat population in 2018 stayed being market partners. Now, if you look at the senior executive director column, only 0.01% of the population became senior executive director. Less than 1% of people in Monat were senior executive directors. So what does this tell you? It tells you that it's very hard to achieve this rank in Monat. It tells you that your likelihood of joining Monat as a business and staying as a market partner for a very long time, probably over a year, is going to be very high. 94% of market partners just stayed in one level. So, I don't know. So the next column, it shows you the numbers or the amount of income that Monat people earned. The column that says high annual gross earnings. And it basically tells you what Monat people earned the most during the year based on their rank. So let's just take a look at, let's just compare the lowest rank and the highest rank. So being a market partner, the highest income that you could have achieved on average for that year was $20,000. And being an executive director, the highest income you could have achieved was $3 million. So, you know, the difference between the lowest rank and the highest rank is very, very significant. So that's why many people want to achieve senior executive director, because that's where the money is at. Now, if you look at the low annual gross earning, the next column, if you look at the lowest amount of money that a market partner earned in 2018 was $0. Obviously, because many people were inactive and weren't doing Monat as a business. It was just in it for the discount. And even if you were doing it as a business, it is very likely that there was one paycheck during that whole year in which you just earn no commission whatsoever because you just didn't earn anything. So we're not going to talk about the next two columns, which is the average income and the medium income, because that's just basically a different subcategory of the same numbers that we've just talked about. But we're going to jump over to the second to last column, which is called average number of months to achieve a rank. And basically this column tells you how many months potentially it will take you to achieve each of these ranks on average. So if you look at market partner, the number of months that it will take you to achieve this rank is 0, obviously, because as soon as you accept the opportunity of being in Monat, you're automatically a market partner. There's no waiting, there's no achieving anything. All you have to do is just say yes. Now, when it comes to being an executive director, senior executive director, it takes on average 22 months or almost 2 years. So a lot of people join Monat thinking that as soon as they start, they're going to every month just hit a new rank, especially for those people who have a lot of followers, who are like social media celebrities and stuff, but it actually takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of willingness from other people to join your team to be able to high up in these ranks. And on average, it says here that it will take you almost 2 years to achieve the senior executive director rank. So don't expect to join Monat today and in 6 months be a senior executive director. Yes, it has happened. There have been people that have achieved this rank in way less than 2 years, but if you consider yourself a normal person, and by a normal person I mean someone who is not a celebrity, someone who does not have a lot of social media followers, you might expect to achieve this rank in 2 or 3 years. So okay, so now that we basically analyze the entire chart, it's important that we read the very blurry, very invisible gray box at the very bottom, because that box has very, very tiny letters, and those tiny letters are one of the most important and most key things in this chart, because it tells you things that most people just don't read and they just don't know. So let's just read a few sentences and we're going to break it down into 3 different categories. So the first few sentences talks about income projections. What can you expect to earn in Monat? And this is what Monat has to tell you in very tiny, very blurry letters. It says, these figures are not guarantees or projections of your actual earnings or profits. The above figures include only bonuses, commissions, or other remuneration paid to market partners by Monat Global. So, what is Monat saying here in these first 2 sentences? They are basically saying that the numbers that you find in this chart are only based on the commissions that market partners have earned. And basically that is not Monat's fault to guarantee any income. So basically, let's just go back to the chart. So let's say you want to become a associate market mentor, and here it says that your highest income could be $74,000. Those are just numbers of data that they collected for that year, but it doesn't necessarily mean that if you join Monat you are going to earn $74,000 if you reach the associate market mentor rank. It's just a projection. It's just the data that they collected for that year based on the amount of people that joined Monat for that year and based on the commissions that people earned for that year. So it could be a totally different story this year or next year. We don't know. Now let's keep reading the next few sentences. And in here they talk about expenses. What do we need to know about expenses when it comes to Monat and income? It says, they do not take in consideration any expenses incurred by market partners in operating their businesses or profit or losses when products are resold by market partners. Expenses incurred in operating an independent Monat Global business may include, but are not limited to, the purchase of a starter kit, payment of renewal fees, purchases of product samples, shipping costs, transportation costs, training and educational expenses, and travel expenses. In some cases, these expenses may exceed the amounts earned by Monat market partners from Monat Global. So, what is Monat saying here? So Monat is saying here that the amounts included in this chart. So let's say you want to become, like I say, an associate market mentor, and you could potentially earn $74,000. They're saying here that amount of money is only based on commission and bonuses that you earn throughout that year. It does not include any expenses, and it does not include any of the things, any renewal fees, any kind of expenses related to running your business with Monat. And it lists here some of the expenses that they know you are going to incur while being an independent distributor with Monat. It says here that you have to buy your own starter kit, you have to pay renewal fees, you have to pay for sample products, you have to pay for shipping costs, transportation costs, training materials, and travel expenses. So what are they telling you here? They're telling you, yes, you could probably make $74,000 a year if you become an associate manager and mentor, but you're gonna have expenses, baby girl. Like, you have to spend in order to make. And sometimes the very interesting sentence that I found in here is that sometimes your expenses may exceed the amount of money that you earn. A lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people think that, yes, they have expenses, but the expenses are insignificant compared to the amount of money that you're going to earn. Could be true, and in some cases it's true, but in some cases it could be true that you're not earning enough money in Monat to keep up with the expenses. So, are you really earning money or are you really losing money? Which one it is? Because let's just keep reading the last two sentences that talks about success projection. What does Monat say about your potential success within the company? They say here, Monat Global makes no guarantee of financial success and you may lose money. Success with Monat Global results only from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Your success will depend upon how well you exercise these qualities. So what is Monat saying here? They're basically telling you, you have this chart. If you join Monat thinking that you're going to make this amount of money, great. That's up to you. You're taking your own risk. But we do not guarantee that you're going to be successful. We do not guarantee that you're going to make this XYZ money. And we cannot guarantee that you are not going to lose money. So, are you up for the challenge? Are you willing to join a company that gives you no guarantee whatsoever in terms of income? I mean, I really don't understand how people can join multi-level marketing companies if they're so unreliable. I cannot possibly live my life with that uncertainty. But whatever, Monat people are so sure that they're gonna make so much money if they join. And it's just almost ridiculous how much trust these people put into these MLMs, because it's just wow. But anyways, something very interesting that they say at the very last sentence is that your success depends on your efforts, your skills, your quality, your persistence, but I thought you didn't need any skills. I thought you didn't need to work as hard, because it's just, you're working from home, and if you're doing it as a side hustle, you only have to invest a few hours and you're gonna be good. So no. I really don't know. It's very contradicting sometimes. The things I see on social media, it's like, you can make money, you don't need any skills, we're gonna teach you everything. But you do need skills, because even if you teach people the skills to sell, the skills to recruit other people, if it doesn't go with someone's personality to do this as a business, it just won't work. So in conclusion, doing Monat as a business is not a miracle. It's not something that you're going to do, that you're going to start doing today and that it's going to change your life overnight. Get off that cloud, please. In order to make it to the top, according to the chart we just analyzed, it will take on average 2 years. But Monat does not guarantee that. We just read it. Monat does not guarantee any success, any income, nor achieving any rank by any specific amount of time. Remember, in 2018, the average amount of market partners was 94%. 94% of the entire Monat population in 2018 stayed being market partners. So, what does that mean? It means that less than 1%, you remember the senior executive director rank, that the average amount of people being senior executive directors for that year was 0.01%. That's way less than 1%. That's almost zero. So you're gonna join Monat thinking that you can be or become a senior executive director when Monat is clearly telling you that 2 years ago, less than 1% of the entire population was senior executive director. So I do not know how else to tell you that it's hard. It's almost impossible to think that less than 1% of an entire population makes it to the top. So, and you might say, well, I don't want to make it to the top. Well, really? So why are you joining? Don't you want $3 million? Don't you want the luxurious life that senior executive directors are living? Because that's why you joined for, right? To make money and to live up to the standards of this lifestyle that Monat people do. So it's just hard. It's going to be hard. You need to understand that. Your chances of making it to the top are less than 1%. So stop arguing that 99% of MLM companies fail to inform you that the failure rate is very high. It says it here, 94% of the population stayed being market partners. So it's your chances of staying as a market partner is very high as well. That's why I said at the beginning, I really want to see what the income disclosure statement for 2020 is going to look like, because so many people joined Monat because they needed to work from home because of the coronavirus pandemic. But you joined Monat thinking that you were going to generate income just by being a shampoo dealer. Now what? Now what? Have you achieved the rank or the level that you thought you were going to achieve by now? It's almost 4 months into the pandemic, into being in quarantine. How much have you achieved? Probably not much. Probably not much. So I'm not trying to discourage you from not doing Monat. I'm not trying to tell you to quit Monat, but because who am I? Who am I to tell you what to do? I am just repeating what Monat itself it's putting here. This comes from them. This is a data that comes from themselves. So are you not going to trust the same company that you joined? Is that what you're telling me? So, you have to really think about these things, really analyze your life, really think, is Monat lying? Are the numbers lying? I don't think so. Monat is being pretty transparent in here, I believe. And if you don't join Monat itself, then who are you gonna trust? So now that you know all of this, now that you know what your chances of making it to the top in Monat is, do you still want to join Monat? If you still do, don't say I didn't warn you. So this is gonna be it for today, guys. It's very interesting to know what your chances of being successful in Monat is, and I hope this is very useful for you and for anybody around you doing Monat. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in with me today, and I will see you guys on my next video.